Oh, good morning. It is Friday, March 29th, and it's another rainy, gloomy day here in Franklin, Massachusetts, but it's supposed to brighten up later on. So I'm enjoying watching the little chickadees and the wrens come to my little feeder out here, even though they're getting wet, but they're getting a nice little breakfast. But anyway, if you are with me, please do pop on. I have no idea if I'm getting comments because I just got this error message once again. So I don't know what's going on with my Switcher Studio, but it's telling me that Facebook comments had an error this morning. So I don't know what's happening, but we'll see. So if you're there, please do pop on and say hello. I have two cards to show you this morning, fun cards. And then we're going to, what else are we going to do here? Wait a minute, I just want to make sure I have everything. I do think I have everything, including my silicone pad. I have that, perfect. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Linda. And yes, it is 10 o'clock, and I'm thrilled that my messages are working because it says I had a problem. But anyway, that's great. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Okay, so I am going to show you two cards. Let me see. Good morning, Jan. You're on YouTube. Okay, very good. Good morning. Thank you for popping on. Thank you for getting up so early too. Colleen, good morning, good morning. That's great. Here we go. All right, so let me just show you these cards that we're going to do today. Now, I know that we've done something very similar to this in the past. However, I am absolutely in love with this perennial lavender sweet, and I have to tell you that a lot of that is disappearing because it's retiring, so you want to make sure that you get whatever you want. Plus all of the in colors. Don't forget about in colors. If you've got favorite in colors, you want to stock up on that, especially the ink refill. If you have the ink pad, you want the refill because that goes like hotcakes. And if you want to ever sell it on eBay, people are going to buy it if you've got the refill. Anyway, okay, so these are the cards. So this is one that I absolutely love, and this is one that I absolutely love. This happens to be one of my absolute favorite templates. I love it because you can use scraps of your designer paper because it doesn't take very much. So this is a perfect way to use up pieces of designer paper that you've got tucked away in that little cello bag, and you say, what am I going to do with them? Anyway, okay, let's start with this one. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of the basic white cardstock, and we're going to make sure that it's scored nicely. And then we're going to, let me add a little bit of light, the extra light here. Oh, that's better. Okay, I don't think there's a glare. It doesn't look like there's a glare. Okay, so this is going to get nice and folded. And I see there's a little ink here, but we're not going to care about that because that's going to get covered up. Ha, 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 ha. All right, so the next thing I did was I took a piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and I took the perennial postage dies, which let me just show you right here in the catalog. Here they are right here. I love them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different shapes, and then 3 different little embellishments or dies as well. But I love this because they nest very beautifully, and it just adds a little bit of flair to whatever you're doing. So I'm going to take and I already cut it out, and I'm just going to add some of my adhesive to it, and then pop it right on. Okay. Like such. Colleen, this is one of your colors, one of your peacock colors. Colleen is going to be installed as the worthy grand matron of the Order of the Eastern Star in May in Massachusetts. It's very exciting for her, a very huge undertaking and a very prestigious position, and she certainly deserves it. So anyway, next thing I'm going to do is to take a piece of white cardstock, and this piece is going to measure 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and I ran it through the painted texture embossing folder. Can you see that? There we go. I love my little art light. It's so much fun to use. Anyway, and actually on this folder, you could decide to use whatever side you want. They both have the contour and concave and convex images, so it doesn't really matter. But again, when you use it, when I use embossing folders that have this kind of contour to it, I always want to make sure that I have plenty of adhesive on because I want to make sure it sticks beautifully. All right, so this is going to get popped on just like this. Equidistant, north, south, east, west Ta-da! Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 more of the postage shapes, smaller ones, and cut them out with Lost Lagoon cardstock. Now on my sample, as you can see, I did not do anything to the edges of this Lost Lagoon. However, I've just decided that I'm going to take some of the Lost Lagoon ink, and with my dauber, I'm just going to add a little bit of color, and that's going to just give it a little bit of standout effect. See, it's just going to give it a little tiny bit. Good morning, Barbara McDuffie. Good morning, good morning. I bet you and Bob have your morning cup of coffee. You're sitting down and watching. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. All right, so there's that one, easy. And I love my daubers. You could actually, if you don't have daubers, you could use a sponge. You could actually do it direct to paper, which is a little bit more full in color. But see, this kind of gives it a little bit of Monet effect. It's light. Every time I glue something on, I use... Thanks, Jan. Okay, so that's done. Easy peasy. So then the next thing I shall do is I'm going to put some adhesive on the larger one, like this, And Jan, if you want to put up your website, so people, your YouTube channel, so people can follow you. Jan is from British Columbia. Isn't it exciting? We have somebody from the Canadian side of the world joining us on Fridays. I love it. I absolutely love it. But if you want to put up your site, people can join in and they can follow you as well. There you go. Okay, so there's that. Now this next one, I'm going to take some dimensionals and I'm going to pop this on with dimensionals. I think 2 is just perfect. I don't need any more than 2. And the reason I don't want any more than 2 is because we've got some flowers to tuck in here. And so I'm serious, Jen. Go right ahead. Put it up there so people can see it. And then if they get a chance, they can pop on and watch you too. It's always fun to watch demonstrators. Anyway, getting back to this, I put one here and one here. I want this part loose because we're going to be tucking some flowers in, and I want to be able to have some space for that. So there's that, and there's that. Now the next thing I did was I took the Lost Lagoon ink, and I took the stamp set, which this stamp set is called Perennial Postage. Here it is right here in the catalog, right there, that one. And I took the one that says, I can't thank you enough. And I just stamped it, and now I'm going to fussy cut it, and I'm going to balloon it. I could have straight cut it. I could have used another one of the postage dies, but sometimes I like to balloon words. And in this situation, I am going to balloon it. And I'm just going to balloon, that's like the idea, the pop-up idea thing, like, hello, I've got an idea here. The light dawned on Marblehead. I really don't know why that saying is that saying, but I think it's kind of cute. The light dawned on Marblehead. There we go. Okay, all right, now this, I am going to simply add a little bit of adhesive. Like that. And then I'm going to pop that on right in the center like this. Cute, cute, cute. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these are the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems, which I absolutely love. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining in this morning. I hope you're doing well on this rainy, gloomy day, but in spite of it, it's good for I suppose it's good for everything that we're growing. We got a lot of water here in New England. So hopefully we won't have a big water ban this year. Anyway, so let me take this, move this aside, and bring this open. Now I'm going to use the more purpley ones. See, these have a blend, starting with probably Gorgeous Grape, then Highland Heather, and this has actually got a little bit of Moody Mauve component to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, first of all, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take the lighter one, and I'm going to put it here. Now I know it's subtle, but that's what I want. I want subtle. And I'm going to take the smaller of these and put one like that. Isn't that pretty? There, so let me get these out of the way. Then we're going to get some flowers here. Whoops, let me get this out of the way. Move this over here. There we go. Okay, so now what I've done is I've already gone ahead and used the dies that go with this suite, and I've cut out the Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. There you go. Now put up your little website, girlfriend, and let everybody know where you are so you can have some people watch you from the United States as well. Although I'm sure you do have lots of people watching you because we're watching you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck these in like this. Now this is really, really long, so I think I'm just going to snip it right here and snip it right here. And I'm going to bring this in like this. Yeah. So then I'm going to take my Tombow and add just little dabs. Ooh, look at that bubble. That's the beauty of keeping these things upside down, because they have the adhesive will just fall right down to the neck where you want it. All right, so I'm going to put this one in like this. Pat it down. Ta-da. Okay, then I'm going to take another one. This is the one that I snipped. Now I'm going to snip this part of the stem off so that it looks deliberate, that I wanted it to look like that. And I'm going to take this off too and just snip that off right here. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive, just little daubs of it. I could have used the Sizzix adhesive sheets, but for this, whoops, okay, now let me quickly get that taken care of. So I'm going to put that in. Now you see I have a little spot right here where I have some adhesive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a baby wipe. Baby wipes, I found this works really, really good. I'm just going to take a little tiny tip of the baby wipe. Hey, Kathy, good morning. Thank you for popping on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I just wiped it very quickly and very gently. And there's a little spot here. There we go. And it's going to dry, and you'll never even know. That's our little secret. You'll never know that there was some adhesive there that we had to remove. Okay, then the other thing I did was I took Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and I used this beautiful image, which kind of looks like lavender. And you know how I am. I'm bonkers about lavender. So I'm going to take this, and let's just see. I think I'm going to put that in like that. And yes, I will probably use the whole thing. There we go. Just a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to stick that in like this and let that pop up like that. There we go. And you don't have to have adhesive all the way up. I kind of like the fact that this is popping up like that. I kind of think that's kind of pretty. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to trim this one down just like I did the other one, because I don't need this whole big piece. I'm going to trim this right here. You know, you can decide how much you want. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive here. Isn't this pretty? I love these colors. So anyway, last week when my granddaughter was here for her spring break, she's a student at Mount Holyoke College, she and I love lavender. And one of the places that I've always wanted to go was to the Cape Cod Lavender Farm in Harwich. So we decided to have a day on the Cape, and what a day we had. So we went down and we went to I'm going to put another one in here. Actually, I'm going to cut this one in half like this. So we went down, and as we're driving through the town of Harwich. Of course, I had to have my GPS on because I had absolutely no idea where we were going. But as we were driving, we drove through the town of Harwich, and lo and behold, we passed this little cafe called the Seal Pub and Cafe. And of course, my granddaughter's name is Selkie, and that's an Irish name for a seal. So, of course, we had to have lunch there. And to boot, guess what? It was the International Day of the Seal. So that was kismet. It was meant to be. Anyway, so let's get back to the card. So anyway, here's this little piece of lavender, and I'm just going to pop this on like this. There we go. With the dimensional, because I want this one to stick up. And I'm going to put that in right like that. There. Ta-da! Let me put the cap back on this. Okay, so there is the front of my card. Although, I'm not finished because I am going to take Winky, and I am going to highlight the darker seeds on this lavender stem, just like that. I mean, you could do the whole thing if you want. I am also going to do the leaves, like this. I could have done the leaves before I put them on, but I didn't. Just to give it a little bit of extra interest, like that. See, it gives it a little bit of shine. I know in real life you'd see it much better because, you know, it's in real life. Well, this is real life, except it's on video. And then the other thing I could do, if I wanted, was I could just write the letters, like copy the letters with my Wink of Stella. That will give this a little bit of extra shine, too. Quickly. You don't have to, you don't have to fuss. Actually, you could broad stroke it if you wanted to. I'm not. I'm going letter by letter, which is taking another little minute, but there we go. Okay, so there is that. Done deal. Okay, so here is my card. Isn't that pretty? Easy, easy, easy. We had a great time, Jan. It was so much fun. Oh, my God. I love my granddaughter so much. She's so sweet and fun, and we just had such a wonderful time. And the Cape Cod Lavender Farm is amazing. So I'll talk to you about that in a minute because I've got something to show you for that. But anyway, here's the card. Now, I haven't done anything on the inside on this one because I didn't cut any pieces, but I am going to cut another piece of the designer paper. Here is the envelope that I used. So I'm going to cut a piece of that, and I'm going to put a little strip on the inside of this card. And then, of course, I'm going to make an envelope flap. So anyway, that's a card that we're going to do next Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so there's that one. Easy peasy. So now let me bring in this next one. Let me get everything out of the way here. Bring this back. Again, like I told you before, this is one of my all-time favorites. I use this template because I have lots of designer paper. So I am going to bring in my base, which is a piece of white. Again, basic white. You know the drill, blah, blah, blah. We just take this, make sure it's nice and crisp like that. And then I took a piece of soft suede and got to put some adhesive on this sheet. And soft suede is a really pretty color too. Nice and warm. It's a really pretty color. And actually it adds a lot to this designer paper. This is ringed with nature. This was a paper that we had a couple of years ago. And it's so pretty. It's got really beautiful flowers on one side in the Calypso Coral and Daffodil Delight combination. But this, on this side, are the bluebirds, which I absolutely love. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the white cardstock, and here it's going to nestle in on top of the soft suede. And then I took the sweetly scripted stamp set, which I love. I love. Happy anniversary, congratulations, happy birthday, a million thanks, speedy recovery, save the date, blah, blah, blah. I love the font. I just love the simplicity of that. So I'm going to take some soft suede ink, and I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to ink this baby right up, and I'm going to bring this in like such and make sure I stamp it nicely. I know I'm stamping it on my silicone bag. It doesn't matter. This says happy birthday. All right, so here we go. Now, I stamped it first because now I'm going to go over to my embossing machine, embossing folder, and run it through. Had I done the embossing first and then tried to stamp it, happy birthday would not come out as crisp as you're seeing it here. So give me a second. I'm going to run over to my embossing machine and get this taken care of. Hold on. Almost done. Here we go. All right, I'm back. I used one of the Basics 3Ds, which I love. I love this combination of embossing folders. And I took this one, kind of like stars, but look at how pretty that looks. See, and you can see how crisp that happy birthday is. So now what I'll do is I'll add some adhesive. Now this is really important that you get a lot on because as you can see, this has a lot of hills and mountains. So you want to make sure that you get enough so this stays on. You could use Tombow. Tombow will work very nicely as well. And sometimes I use Tombow. Sometimes I use my snail, which I have a million of them. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on like this, north, south, east, west, right, Jan? Here we go. Perfect. And make sure that it's anchored down nicely because those little hills and mountains cause a very nice image. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take my designer series paper. Now when I cut these out for classes, what I do is I make sure that everybody knows which one is the one that you want for the birds and which one you want for the contrast. This is the same paper, but you can see that this is, the orientation is different. So there's the little birdie. I mean, we could do it a different orientation if we wanted to, but I want to keep with that horizontal image. So anyway, I want to make sure that the birds are going to be the dominant piece. Have you seen a great stamp set? There's your tiny seal of approval. No. Seal of approval. What page is that on, Jan? No, I don't. You find that page and let us know. Anyway, here is the pieces that I'm going to use. Good morning, Nancy from California, from Hemet. Welcome, 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 my friend. Got everybody coming this morning. Okay, so here we go. Here's one piece. This is the muted shades of the blues and greens. How pretty is that? And I'm just going to put that on like this. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to add some adhesive to this. You have to use a lot of adhesive because on these embossing pages, you really want to make sure that you get them just exactly where they have to be. Okay, so there's that. Then this one is going to go on with dimensionals. And what did I do with my little dimensionals? Now, I just had them here, for heaven's sakes. I'm probably looking right at them. What did I do with them? Well, let's just grab another one. All right, here's some. Here's little pieces. See, I never waste any of my dimensionals. I'm sure most of you don't. You use them all, the corners, the edges, because they have a lot of life into them. Okay, so there's that piece. That's getting thrown away. I'll look up the number for you. Thank you, Jan. All right, so this gets taken off. Seal of approval. You know what? I don't even think I have that set. Maybe I do. I don't know. Anyway, let's get these off. Now, here are my little birdies. Now, I want to make sure my birdies... Look at how pretty that is. Oh, my God. I love it. I love birds. There we go. Like that. How easy is that? Now, just to add a little bit of extra pizzazz, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some gems. Now, I've got so many different gems, but this one is the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. And I'm going to take these blue ones, which match very nicely, and I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this one. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to take, I think I'll do a little one. Like that. Whoops, let me get that down just a little bit. There we go. That. And then one more big one. You could do whatever colors you wanted. Let me see. That's off just a tiny little bit. Let me get that in. There we go. How pretty is that? You think? And then on this one, let me get this out of the way. I do have an extra